Prismatic Evolutions is about a month away, and we're going to take a look at the Japanese side Terastal Festival. We're going to take a look at all the recent sales, what are all the cards going for, what are the boxes going for, and I'm going to give you kind of my insight and advice on the set as a whole. It's very exciting. Moving forward into the English side with Prismatic, we don't know what the pull rates are going to be. So that's something that's going to be kind of interesting. It's going to dictate some of the prices of the cards to a certain extent, right? So with Japanese, if you are not familiar, and this is TCG Player, but we are going to be looking at eBay solds for most of this because not enough people use the Japanese side of TCG Player, unfortunately. So some of these prices are accurate, some of them aren't. So we're going to use all eBay last solds on everything. But I just wanted to show you, this page just shows you a lot of the cards from the set. So yeah, moving forward, we also don't know what the Master Balls are going to do. They don't even have the picture up here for the Master Balls on the English side. They're not. In the Japanese, you get one SAR per box, one Pokemon SAR. You can get a trainer SAR as a second, like extra pack or extra pull. And you get 3 Pokeball reverses. And one of those could be a Master Ball, but that is not guaranteed. So that is going to play an interesting factor. But just before we go to the actual sold listings, let's just take a look at this. They have the Umbreon Master Ball at the most expensive card at 400, and you got 350, Sylveon at 120. Things kind of fall off pretty quickly after the Umbreon, which is to be expected. And if you're not familiar, Japanese cards are usually cheaper, with some exceptions, than English, just because their boxes are a lot cheaper. Their MSRP is about 38 US dollars. I don't know what that is in yen. I want to say it's like, I don't know. I'm not going to go there. But so usually the Japanese cards are just cheaper in general. So you can kind of use a comparison. The English cards are going to be, I don't want to exactly put a number on it, but double, 1.5, 3 times, depending. It really depends. Pull rates play a factor. But let's get into the sales, rather. So this is the new Umbreon, and we got a few sales right here. This is this morning. We got a 690 on a PSA 10. So something that's interesting there. And you got to keep in mind that some of these prices are going to come down, and I'll talk about that. But usually, Japanese cards, if you're not familiar, they print them like way better. I don't know if they're using different printers or they just have more attention to detail. But the Japanese side, you have a much higher chance of getting a 10. And usually, like if this is a $350 card, then it's going to be like $400, $450 for a 10. But this is $690 for a 10. Some of the other sales are less than that. For raw, after this or before this 340, we got 280. There's a 315, 280, 350, 270, 250, 280, 280, 290, 290, 280. So you kind of get an idea. I would say market's closer to around 290, 300 ish, and not this 345. But this PSA 10 sale is very interesting. I do think that's interesting. So these should come down because more copies will get graded, right? It's supply and demand. The supply is low right now. Same thing with the raw copies. Because you're guaranteed one SAR per box, I would expect that these would come down. However, you don't know. This is like the hyped up set, so anything could happen. But yeah, usually once more copies are in existence, the prices go down. Next up, this is the Master Ball, the Umbreon Master Ball. So this is not guaranteed. You don't even get a guaranteed one per box. So this is a lot harder to pull. And because the Pokeballs and Master Balls apply to all the cards in the set, not just the SARs, so it's actually pretty hard to pull. And we got a raw copy last sold at 320. And I, once again, thought it was interesting. This was a few days ago, though. December 14th. 835 and a PSA 10 for the Master Ball Umbreon Reverse Holo. By the way, this is a nice artwork. Super random, but I just wish we could have got like a full art version of this artwork. Just thought it was cool. Before that, 320, 315, 280. So pretty consistently in the 300, low to mid 300 range. Oh, there's a 380 down here, 307. So very consistent on the Umbreon Master Ball. That doesn't really surprise me at all. Something to keep an eye on, though. I want to see where these go on all of them. But the Master Ball specifically, if you remember from Japanese 151, the Pikachu Master Ball was the most expensive. And I believe still is. So, but I think that settled around like 200, 220-ish, if I remember correctly. Then let's talk about the booster boxes. Now, these have gone up, I wouldn't say kind of quick. Within the last like week and a half, they've gone up quite a bit. Last sold's 84, 88. You got a 2 for 75. You got an 85. So pretty much high 80s. This is I'm going to say that's an anomaly sale. Yeah. So pretty much high 80s is what you're looking at if you want to pick up some booster boxes. Once again, MSRP is like $38. So you got to, there's resellers, the Japanese resellers, they got to get the product and they got to sell it to the US guy and the US, right? So people have to make money, but people are definitely making money at this price. And I have heard from some people that just the Japanese distributor side, and I'm not super in depth with how that works, but they've just been raising their base price by a lot, knowing how popular this set was going to be. But on the topic of the boxes, I brought this up in the last time we talked about this set, saying that the Japanese 151, so also this sold out on the Japanese Pokemon Center. It came back into stock, I think, but it sold out. The last time that happened was 151. Japanese 151, the booster boxes ran up to around 220 a box before they could get the reprints in. So I would say it's more of a quicker flip if you want to still pick up boxes. Once again, at this price, it's a little pricier. My entry point was in like the 50s per box. So, and I'm going to talk about that next. But I do think that these could run. I don't know how much they're going to run to. Nobody can know. But before they start reprinting it again, I could see it cracking into the hundreds. Some people could flip, some sell, and then wait for the reprint kind of thing. So just saying that is a high likelihood considering it sold out in the Pokemon Center, right? It kind of makes sense. But next up, so this is Sneaker Dunk. If you're not familiar, Sneaker Dunk is a valid website, bought from them many times, but they're a third-party authenticator. So essentially somebody in Japan has the boxes, they send it to Sneaker Dunk. Sneaker Dunk says, oh yeah, these are real, and they send them to you, right? Sneaker Dunk takes like a cut. I'm scrolled down just because I don't want to reveal my address because it always shows it on this page, but this is the price for 10 boxes. Usually around 10 boxes is the best price, but it's $80 per box, 800. So yeah, even on Sneaker Dunk, things are getting expensive, and that's when you start to know because before, like I said, I got some boxes from Sneaker Dunk shipped, 51 per box. You can go back on the channel. That was a little while ago. I talked about that in a video, so you guys can go take a look at that if you're interested. But 51 per box, just like a week and, 2 weeks ago, I guess. But now we're at 80 per box on Sneaker Dunk. If the cheapest place is at 80, the price is going to continue to run. So yeah, just wanted to let you guys know about that. Next up, if you guys are new to the channel and you're not subscribed, go back and watch this video, this free giveaway video right here. We're doing a pretty big giveaway. Just watch the video. It tells you exactly how to enter and everything. You must be subscribed. But anyways, watch the video because you have to watch it anyways to enter. So go check that out. But back to the cards. So Sylveon. This is a nice card, by the way. This is a stunning card. Sylveon's a bit more expensive than some of the lesser Eeveelutions. But 108 last sold. We got 120. 115, 110, 100, 120, 120, 111, 103. Pretty consistently in the 100. Somebody got a Master Ball and SAR combo for 200. This is the first one below 100. I would say that's definitely the anomaly. And we have a PSA 10 sale here of 320. So once again, that's not what we normally see in Japanese. This is because it's early. You go from a $120 card almost tripling in value. That's very interesting. That will change. That you can guarantee will change. You know how many of these cards are at PSA right now? A lot. Something that is important to note, though, is that this seller's from Japan, right? Free shipping from Japan. PSA did open a Japan location, so I don't know how quickly they're able to get their turnarounds over there, but they can just grade there, have it done, right? So they don't have to send it all the way to the US and then back. So I would assume if I was in Japan, I'd be grading a ton of these, getting them back quickly and flipping them. So yeah, that's the price, 120 to 320 on the Sylveon. Now, there's also the Master Ball, Sylveon Master Ball, like that one person got in the combo, the little 2-for-1 deal. I think this is a low sale. This was this morning. I just have $18 shipping from Canada, but $50, and for that is 95, 94. There's that combo again, 88, 107, 90, 92. So Master Balls are doing well. It's nice to see. Once again, not a big surprise. The Master Balls are going to do well. That's not a surprise at all. Then we have the Espeon. I scrolled down. I had this one scrolled down a little because there was a PSA 10 sale down here for 340. So we're seeing similar things, but this one's even crazier because this card's a little cheaper. 67, 70 bucks, 70 down here. 60, 50, 70, 70, 60. So I'd have it at like 65, 70 market for a raw copy. And they sold one for 340. Same seller. See, TCG from Japan. This person's making good money right now. You could definitely, especially if they had product early, they could just rip boxes, grade the SARs, and sell them for great profit. But that's a you got to do that at the very beginning, because like I said, it'll get flooded with PSA 10s later. But back up to the top, yeah. So 65, yeah. I'm gonna say last two were 65, yeah. 65, I guess, market for the Sylveon. We did pull this one on the channel. Should be a few videos back if you're interested in checking that out. Then there's the Pikachu. Now, there's not a lot of sales of this card. This is the same as like the Surging, but it's like all gold. It's weird. 50 bucks. I think there's a few more down here. 60, 57, 56. So 50. So pretty consistently $50, $60 card on the Pikachu. Then we got the Leafeon. This is where things start to kind of, get a little cheaper. 50, 53, 58, 58. I don't know if there's a PSA 10 sale in here. I'll try and scroll down and see if there was anything before. A lot of sales, though. These are all December 15th for the Leafeon. This is a nice looking card. I like this one. This one's kind of slept on me. Like I slept on it. Here we go. I knew we'd find one. 200. So once again, you're getting 4x your money. This is a $50 card up to $200 in a PSA 10. It's not the same seller, though. Somebody else got that one, so good for them. So yeah, that ratio, this is something we don't see on the Japanese side normally. And we got the Glaceon, another nice looking card. I think what's happening for me, let me know in the comments if you guys agree. I think people who are down on these because of the crowns, I don't like the crowns. I don't like them. I think they're growing on people. I really do. They're growing on me. The crowns I never really hated the crowns, but I preferred them without. But now I don't even see it. I really don't. I just see the Pokemon. It's not even a big deal for me. But 60, 60, 58, 54, 55, 60. Yeah, so high to mid 50s. Here's a PSA 10 sale. It's nice that these are popping up just for reference. Once again, this is 6 times the price. 300 for PSA 10, and these are 50. So obviously you have grading fees, and then you got to sell on eBay, and there's a fee. I understand, but I'm just saying the sale price is 6 times. The Jolteon one, yeah, it's okay. It's not my favorite, but once again, grew on me more too. 50, 53, pretty much in the 50s last sold, fairly consistent. There was a 40, a 43 down here. I'm going to scroll down and see if there's a PSA 10. Once again, I didn't go down this far. Here it is. Very consistent right here, finding these PSA 10 sales. $240. So, great margins there on the PSA 10s. What's this going to mean for English? We'll talk about that at the end of the video. I just want to get through the last Eeveelutions here. We got the Vaporeon, about 50 bucks, pretty consistent. Some a little higher. There's a 60 here. PSA 10 right here. It's very similar. They're all going in that 200 range. 230 for a PSA 10. So 50, 60. This is a high sale. The US seller, they did good on this. 150. I don't know whoever bought that. Did not check the recent solds. So yeah, that's once again good gains on the PSA 10. We got the Eevee card. Pulled this one on the channel as well. In that same video if you want to check it out. 50, 50. I think this one's going to be fairly consistent. 65, 48, 45, 58. So 50, 50, 50. I'm going to say 50. About 50 market. Plus or minus. I don't know if we're going to see a PSA 10 of this card. Don't know if one. Yeah, there's probably one listed by now, but it looks like no sales, which is totally fine. Then we have the other Eevee, which is like the food. He's on like the food thing. 60, 64, 50, 47, 60. So it's a little bit all over the place, between 40 and 60. I'm going to say that this is probably closer to market 55-ish. Once again, don't know if we're going to see a PSA 10 sale. 60, 40, 80, 80. It's kind of all over the place. And I don't think we're going to see a PSA 10 of this copy. I'm going to say 50-55 market depending on these sales. Oh, I was wrong. PSA 10 sale, 212 on the Food Eevee. I'm just going to call it Food Eevee. Feevee. The Feevee. Then last card on the list is the Flareon. About $50, 52. There's a or best offer right here, so that went less. 45, 51, 50. Then you got a 75 from Germany. 56, 50, 48, 47, 52, 60, 58. Yeah, pretty consistent. And then once again, right in that 200 range, that 240 PSA 10. Very consistent across the board, I would say, these PSA 10 prices have been for these $50, $60 cards. So this gives you an idea of where things are at for the Japanese side. Now, I know that it's early. I do understand that. I totally understand. We are in the early phases of this. It hasn't been out that long, so more supply will hit the market on singles, right? Prices will probably come down. I am interested in the prices of the singles, but I'm mostly interested in the sealed, the booster boxes, okay? Now, like I said, I'm looking more, I'm not saying that it's necessarily going to do a 151, go to 220 a box, but once I think once it cracks 100, I think that's a psychological number, and these are gonna be, oh my gosh, these are $100 box, and people, right? However, the other side of that coin could be that things might, well, there's two sides to this. That once the English comes out, people will forget about the Japanese and be like, whatever, I got my English cards, right? However, the counterpoint to that would be, but the English is already going to be so expensive, go to the Japanese because it's cheaper, right? So this is the whole reason that in the last few years, Japanese cards were even relevant here in the States, because English was so expensive and just unobtainable, right? So that's something to think about. Price wise, okay, I try not to do this too much anymore, but we're gonna take a look at some of the prices, and I'm just gonna, once again, we don't know that. I'm not gonna do the Master Ball thing. We don't know how rare those are gonna be. We don't even know the standard pull rates of their standard cards. Okay, I'm just gonna go off assuming like 151 pull rates. I don't know. It could be Crown Zenith. We don't know. We don't know what the pull rates are going to be. I don't see a scenario if this is even 151 or even Crown Zenith. I think we're going to be seeing $500 Umbreon minimum raw, especially at the gate. At the gate, we're going to see higher. I don't see how that couldn't be, just coming off the Umbreon hype. I don't see how that couldn't be at least 500 raw. It's going to have to be. There's going to be so much hype around this. Master Balls and stuff, I don't know. I don't think anybody can really speculate on that right now. The other Eeveelutions, I could see a lot. If you got, it's so tough. Let me know your guesses in the comments. But if you have Umbreon at 5, I'm going to say like 3 and below for everything else. I don't know. Pull rates are going to play a factor, but I don't know. I don't want to go too far into it, actually. I mean, I've already said those numbers, but I don't know. I really don't. It's just, it could be less than that. It could just be astronomically more. I don't know. That's one of the things that just is, while the market is kind of scary and it's kind of annoying, you can't really get the product. It's very expensive, blah, 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 right? I'm with you guys on that. Like, I want to be able to get the product at more affordable prices. Everyone does. But at the same time, I'm kind of interested to see, like, where are these prices going to go? Like, can this get to the Umbreon? Can it get to a 1K raw card? I don't know. Like, that, I'm really excited to see what happens with that. PSA 10 sales, like, there's just so much, especially when you're comparing. I think you have to make the comparison. You can't not make the comparison to Evolving Skies. I understand that Evolving Skies has the Rayquaza and like lots of other good cards as well. But your Eevee set to Eevee set, Terastal Festival has them all, while Evolving Skies doesn't. The Espeon was in Fusion Strike. Anyways, there's a lot there. There's just a lot to take in. Also, we talked about this before, but just wanted to touch on this just real quick. This makes collecting so much harder, and because of not just the Pokeball reverses, you got the Master Ball reverses. So a master set for this set will be very expensive. So, and while the TCG side, you don't need the Pokeball Master Ball version, the cards are the same. It adds another layer of depth for collectors. And that is one thing that I like. I don't really like the sets being super expensive when you're collecting. But you're going to chase those cards for a long time. And that is something that's fun. So, in summary, this was just a update on Japanese prices. Trying to get a lay of the land, even though it's early, because we're a month out from Prismatic Evolutions. A month, and we'll have the product. It'll be less than a month before you're seeing people actually opening it. They're going to get it early, right? So you're gonna see people opening it early. We're gonna have an idea. Also, before a month, I don't know, maybe 2 weeks, a week. It just depends. We're gonna get more information. We're gonna know more about the English set. And get full English reveals. Maybe closer to the end. I don't know. I don't know when we're gonna get that. But stay tuned, because I'll obviously make a video when that information is available. But that's gonna do it for this one, guys. I'll catch you in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.